Hello, hello. This is Traci Harrell, and welcome to Bigger Than Me. Each week, we focus on how to achieve your definition of success and happiness. On Bigger Than Me, we bring together a combination of ageless wisdom, the latest research, and engaging interviews with amazing people who are sharing their stories to help each of us achieve our full potential. Your journey to transformation begins right now. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's right. This is Traci Harrell, and you are watching Bigger Than Me. Because guess what? It's absolutely bigger than me, right? What we try to do on this show is really help change. We're changing the world. Isn't that exciting?
Yep, that's what we're here to do.
And today, our topic today is really about health and wellness, physical health and mental health. Mental health is one of our ongoing themes, right? Mm-hmm. Our show is about success and happiness. And on the phone with us, Victor, it says Colbert. I thought it was Tolbert. Victor, introduce yourself. Hello, Victor. Hello. Well,
I'm on the phone.
Oh, there he is.
Chris Odom with Planet Fitness.
This is who?
Chris Odom with Planet Fitness.
Okay,
Ooh,
Chris.
that's the wrong person.
You want me to talk first?
Is Victor on a different line?
Well, I don't know.
You know, I believe in divine intervention. So,
Okay.
were you at? So I have two guests with me. So I'm gonna first of all introduce myself again. I'm Traci Harrell. I am the host of Bigger Than Me. This is my personal ministry to save the world, to change the world while I change myself. I have a courageous vision of really taking all these books I've read, all this research that I have, but really giving people a platform to tell their stories. And so I had Mr. Trey on a couple weeks ago. Oh, that was such a good show.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was, but you're now part of the family.
Yes.
So this is an ongoing production. So Trey is actually part of the team, and Trey is going to, again, as we continue today to talk about physical fitness and mental wellness as well. Trey's going to be part of the show, but he's going to help with a phone line. We're going to open up the phone lines, which is super exciting. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Yep. Trey, do you want to introduce yourself in some way?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Trey John White, Trey for short. Can you hear me okay? Okay. My name is Traci Harrell White. I go by Trey for short. I am 23 years old. I'm a licensed massage therapist serving the state of Washington.
And he's good.
Tracy would be able to tell you that. There you go.
Yes.
And my goal here is just to help Tracy change the world. I have a similar vision. I also change the world. I believe in expressing truth, and whether you're ready to hear it or not, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. And what I really liked about this 23-year-old is that he has the soul of a 45-year-old. Like, you've been through a lot. He had some trauma in his childhood. He's been married and divorced, and it's just a lot of trauma, but he's overcome. He's actually done exactly what we say. So when I talk about, you know, what my first book and my first radio show for 2 years was called Our Journey, Our Dreams, The Art and Science of Being Aware and Getting There. And so the being aware part was, again, when you know you have a challenge, and getting there is actually moving to the next level. And so what you represent the art of living well, right? So you've overcome some amazing, some pretty difficult challenges, and you come out amazing on the back end. And you experience mental, I was going to say mental health, but you actually went to a therapist.
Illness,
but you went to a mental therapist. You went to a therapist.
Right. So I went to a therapist. I felt the need to seek out professional help to help me deal with, you know, trauma and abandonment, all kinds of different
abandonment, anger. He was a wild child.
I was a wild child.
I was a bit of a wild child. And I thought that was so cool that you're able to reflect now. So as we talk to parents who might have a wild child at home, it's a little bit like Trey. What I love about him being a part of this, and this handsome gentleman as well, but these beautiful men being here to talk about their stories and their journey to really help others who might be in a similar place. Because you said you were angry a lot.
I was very angry, and I didn't know how to challenge it or channel it.
Didn't know what it was. So that whole concept of, what was the big lesson out of your show, or one of the key key words of wisdom that you took away from
of
that
course.
we were sharing with the audience.
So on my show, the biggest lesson I learned was to give yourself permission to feel your feelings. Sometimes that might look like waking up and crying on the bathroom floor at 2:00 in the morning. I know when I did that, I was like, ooh. This feels amazing.
Oh, it was a good thing.
It was
like,
it was an amazing experience. When you give yourself permission to really just feel, you come out on the other side like, I am floating. It's like your first massage with me. It was amazing.
He's not modest. He's not modest. But I could testify to that. So all I'm going to say is, Victor, if you are anywhere on the phone lines, apparently we don't have you. So hang up and call back, because I do want to go to you here in a second. I am going to introduce my next handsome guest here.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm actually going to introduce myself in a special way, because every morning I introduce myself to who I am. It helps me just have a clearer mind on who I am and who I want to be. So
I want to make sure your face is shown. You see his handsome face. I don't want this mic to block his handsome face, because he actually is an aspiring actor, model. He's amazing. So talk it out. But this is why I was so impressed by this young man. This is what he does. These are people who are living out what we talk about every day on our show. I didn't make this up. So please.
all right, so I have a list here on my notes that I add to all the time, but it's a reminder. It goes on and on and on. So I'm just going to list off my favorites, the ones that more on the top, so I don't go on here forever, take up the whole show. But I started off with This Is Me every morning. The list starts with I'm a visual artist, designer, skater, investor, writer, stylist, model, provider, philanthropist, creative producer, collaborator, designer, influencer, creative, entrepreneur, merchandiser. Then after all that list, I have another dash that goes to I'm me. I'm getting older, wiser, handsome, and healthier.
Excuse me, did you catch that part? He's a little modest.
Amen. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. My creativity is taking me further than I ever knew. Opportunities are arising when I least expect them and when I expect them.
So awesome.
2019 is marking the start of a new life for me. I'm building an image of myself that will inspire millions. My sacrifice and grit is taking me where I want to go and where I need to go.
Pause real quick. Sacrifice and grit, people. That's part of this show, part of the book that I'm writing. It is about sacrificing and grit. We'll talk more about that later. Keep going.
And I'm just going to finish with this last one that says, I'm awakening new abilities within myself. And I just use this list to, remind me who I am. It just makes me a clearer perception of who I am and where I'm going in every little thing and everything I want to do. When people have those questions, they ask you, what are you doing? Who are you? What's your purpose in this world? Sometimes people get choked up. I used to get choked up. That's why I do this every day. But it makes me feel more like I have more purpose in this world. Like my vision for where I'm going is more clear. So it's more than just I'm at this job. What I do is what I do at this job. It's more than that. It's every little thing. That's why I'm a philanthropist, because when I give, I feel like a philanthropist. When I design, when I take photos, I feel like a visual artist. Not only do I feel like that, I am that. It's who I am. It's what's in my blood, what's in my bones. Another one of these points I made, I didn't get to it, but I said there's stars and stones and in my blood, and it just makes it more magical. It makes it more feel. It takes me in my own world, and it's all things for the mind, because your mind is what creates this reality we live in. So and that will further on to the rest of our conversation, because more than just physical health, it's a lot about what's going on up in between our ears and our brains. So yeah.
I'm tearing up just a little bit.
Woo, that was powerful.
Oh, and I guess I forgot to say
Just
my
a little
age.
bit.
I'm 21, about to turn 22 in a week.
Ooh.
But, that's where I'm
There
going.
you go.
Did I even
Can
say
we
my
all
name?
just have a moment of
Just a
silence?
moment of silence.
Okay.
Wow. And what I love about that is he just shared that with me. Now, he's been helping me, supporting me with National Black MBA Association. I am president of the Seattle chapter for the National Black MBA Association. We actually started an event where we were talking about supporting youth. You lose youth just like this gentleman, these gentlemen here, and Black MBA has a program called Leaders of Tomorrow, and we're building leaders of tomorrow through community leadership today. So it's really about bringing people together, and we see that on our on my cover shot every show, and some shows we're going to be talking specifically about that. But what really got me excited is I have to get to know the people that I want to serve. And so I've been spending a lot more quality time with youth like him. And some of my experiences have been challenging. Well, I was like, that's why I don't have kids right now, because y'all crazy. Honestly, like I and then there's these gems that pop in, and it's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Right? You've restored my confidence. And so what I really like about this is you've basically, you're demonstrating, you both are living out what we talk about in the book. What this show is all about is people choosing their destiny, deciding what their life is going to be, being intentional every day and every moment. So when you and you're just there's just magic here. And so both of these beautiful guys are going to be part of my shows going forward. Again, today we're talking about wellness, and you were with me at the National African American Wellness Walk and 5K Run.
Yes, I was.
Yesterday. It was
day.
Absolutely amazing. I think we officially have Victor on the line now.
Hello.
Victor.
Hey, how's it going?
Excellent. So we were going to have you physically in the show, and some things have. So the universe.
Don't say the devil's been busy.
You see, I love
good.
I love it when people say that, because the truth is, say it again, say it louder, so that people hear what you said.
Oh, I said it's all good though. The devil's been busy,
So the devil's been busy. I want to make sure that people who may not be from the South or may not have heard that term, it's a Baptist church kind of a thing. The devil's been busy means, like, when you're trying to do some good things, when you're trying to change the world and actually, make the world a better place, when you're trying to really be courageous and step out on a limb and do something that no one has done before, that's when the, negative energy sometimes tries to block you. And so that concept of grit and courage and really being able to, like, persevere, to move forward, it's like, that's what it takes. That's where the magic happens. It's right. Letting those things happen to you and choosing that I'm going to still move forward. We're going to get this thing done. However it was meant to happen. We're going to get it done. And most of the books that I've read and the ones that I've taken to the top of my list are the ones that actually give you very clear principles around how to do this. Like Deepak Chopra, he has a book called The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. We've talked about it numerous times. And one of his laws is around this law of detachment, right? This law of dharma. Detachment means, you're going to put your intentions into the universe first, but then you're open to the possibilities of how that thing transpires. This room was going to look very different for this show. It was going to look very different. Victor was going to be here with his wife. There was going to be someone else with something else. A lady from Girl Trek, we'll have them on another show. Some ladies from Styles of Stepping were going to actually physically be in the room. And things have happened. And I'm like, this is all good, because, again, the message is still going to get out, right? We're still going to do our thing.
Right.
And you just got to go with it and keep it moving. And so what I wanted anyway was for this handsome gentleman to get some showcase. And so since he was interviewing with me the other day, I was like, you're going to ask some questions of Victor, and then you ask questions of this person. And we had his questions all, like, laid out. But instead, he got to come here and basically showcase who you are. Now, you tell me that ain't Jesus.
That's Jesus. Of course it is.
Anyway. Back to Victor. I got distracted. Victor.
It's all good.
So I love it. Oh, can I make you laugh? So real quick, what we're going to have Trayvon do. Trayvon. Sorry. Trey. We're going to have Trey tell the listening audience real quick before we go to Victor how they can call in, what number, and the email. Do you want me to tell?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mike, you're not showing my screen, right? You're not showing my screen, correct? Okay, perfect. So we're gonna actually give you guys a chance to call in. You'll go over there, and we're gonna have you call in as well, and you'll call into the line and give them your update. So call in or email me at tracy@itsallbiggerthanme.com. Either way, I'll be checking my email here. He'll be manning the phone lines. Mike, can you say the number for people to call in real quick? Oh, it's right here on the wall somewhere. Where is it? Oh. 425. Thank you very much. It's right there.
It's 425-373-5527.
Say it one more time, Trey.
425-373-5527.
Perfect. It's also 888-298-KKNW. I like that one. It's easier to remember. Say that one again.
425.
No, 888.
It's the 888-298-KKNW.
That's kind of easy.
That is easy.
I like that one. So we'll go with that one in the future when we
Okay,
talk. Oh,
perfect.
did I mention this is the first time we're doing call-ins?
Yeah.
That could be obvious. But it's going to be fun because we want to actually open up this conversation for others. So we're going to have Trey actually go into the control room. And when you call in, you're going to be talking to him. And again, join in on the conversation around health and wellness. So the question of the day is, again, why is it important for people to know their numbers? Why is it important to focus on your health? And since Victor is here, Victor, what's your last name?
Tolbert, Tolbert.
That's what I thought. They have you written in as Colbert. I'm like, I could be wrong, but
hey, it's happened many of times.
Okay.
It's okay.
I thought it was Victor Tolbert. I'm like, okay, great. So Victor Tolbert is actually on the phone. And Victor, you had an amazing event yesterday. Can you tell us all about it?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And yes, it was an amazing, wonderful event. I'm overwhelmed with joy and just it's wonderful just to experience, just to be able to bring this initiative to the Pacific Northwest. What we did yesterday was we had the first West Coast Pacific Northwest National African American Male Wellness Walk and Run, 5K walk and run. This was an event where we bring the African American community together as free health screening for all African American men this day. The event was for everyone, for women, children, men, everyone. So there was a ton of kids out. We had a nice, great kids area. With space painting and it was bouncy houses and things like that. We had a musician going around doing some great card tricks and things
It was
of
fun.
that nature. It was a really good time. And then also, we kicked it off with, we had Mr. Nat Jackson, Jump Rope King.
Was Nat there?
Yesterday. He was
Oh
there
my
yesterday.
God, did I miss that? Oh, that is
Jackson. He was there. So it was great. And it was on his birthday too. And,
What?
he got a chance to talk about just, his health and his journey and things like that. So it was a wonderful experience.
Oh.
It was great. It was just great to see everyone come together in the community, really for this initiative and actually see the men get screened, actually see the men getting in line, getting screened so they can know their numbers. And that was huge for our community. It's huge for black men in general because we tend to shy away from the health screening aspect of certain things.
Well, that's awesome.
We can look good on. Yeah, I was just saying we can look good on the outside, but some of us are jacked up on the inside, or we don't know until we get checked out.
I love it.
That's the most important thing, is making sure we know our numbers because we need to be here for longevity. We need to be here for our families, and it was just a great time to see that many just beautiful faces out, and all our sponsors and our partnerships and everyone else. It was great yesterday.
I love it. So two things. What I loved about it is it was such a multi-generational experience. I saw kids on tricycles and elderly seniors using walkers and everything in between. It was so awesome. So you must be feeling like this pride and just joy. So this is the first. You guys have been doing this for how many years? 16 years, 14 years, 16 countries, 16
years.
16 cities?
15 different markets, 15 different markets, And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different states, different states.
And this is the first one that has occurred on the West Coast.
Yes, first one on the West Coast. All the other walks are Midwest and South and East Coast.
He's a visionary, people. He's a visionary, so he brought it forward. It was absolutely amazing. I think what I loved about it as well is if you think about the women that were there, that showed up for their men, and we had a conversation around how important it is. Actually, I have several videos from the event that we're going to actually post on itsallbiggerthanme.com. But what I wanted you to do is talk a little bit about that conversation that we had about women and how important it is for women to, take a role, in men's health.
It is very important. Women play such a huge factor because most men we don't go get checked out unless it's our mom, wife, sisters, aunties, nieces, or someone tells us to go, or even our grandkids. Because I know there's some nieces and some grandkids that say, "Grandpa," or you got to go to the doctor, or you got to take care of your health. And it's really a generational thing because men black men, we didn't go to the doctor. We may not known to go to the doctor and get screened because our fathers did and their fathers did. So that is generational, and that's changed.
You're saying their fathers did not, and their
Did
grandfathers did not.
not.
Right.
Yes,
So then
did not.
they, exactly.
For numerous different reasons that they didn't go get checked out, and it's just generational. So therefore, we feel like, oh, we don't need to get checked out, or we're too prideful to go get checked out, or I'm good because I'm feeling good right now at this very moment. But that doesn't mean that your blood pressure is still not higher than usual. And it's just the woman she's powerful. Women are very powerful and they're very persuasive, and that's just a method and something that women stress a lot. What we stress a lot is getting the women out to actually help get your family members out, get the men out, especially younger men, because a lot of the younger men think just because I play these sports and I'm running around now and I'm healthy and I'm not overweight or I'm not I'm always doing something, I'm always being active, that I'm fine, and that's not necessarily true. You know, there could be a football player, for example, that could be playing football every day, but could have some type of heart or chest issues, but since you don't know what's going on the inside of your body until it's too late, until your heart starts racing, something of that nature happens, you won't know until it's too late. If you're at the ER or you're getting emergency surgery on something, or whatever the case may be, but it's good to know your numbers so that way you can make that informed decision on what you need to do next, the proper steps that you need to go through, and actually take control of your life. And when the woman is pushing you along to do it, you're more likely to do it. Like even like at the screening areas, like we do have women pulling, making sure men, hey, come on, let's go through these screening areas. We actually have volunteers helping because that helps push the content, and it gives men a sense of confidence knowing that the woman is there supporting you right there. When you know that your family member is there, when you know that your wife, your nieces or your nephews or your aunts or uncles are there, are actually pulling you over to helping you and supporting you through that whole process, even if you are scared that you know something possibly could be wrong. It's just a great support system, and that's the thing. We're stronger we are together and we are apart. So, and that's one of the reasons why the women are a huge factor in this whole initiative.
I love it. Now
it's an amazing thing.
Yeah,
and it's good to see all the women out walking. You never know. You might meet your husband at the walk.
See, I think I saw a few hookups. No, I'm just joking.
But no, it's a great thing, and I loved it. And it was a great experience yesterday. And it was a blessing.
It was.
And I really like what you said about that, how we're stronger together and stuff like that, because another thing that I thought about when it came to this male wellness walk, especially among African-American men, earlier in this show we talked about how mental health is so important and all those issues and stuff. And being a younger guy, 21, and a black African-American male, we live in an age where our technology and our social media is something that's really big on mental health, and the way it's been affecting us has been very detrimental to a whole, and especially among black men. There's just that's kind of a stigma, something we like to stray away from, just like checking our numbers. And social media, what it does to us is it really disconnects us from the people around us, especially close family members. And I think among black men, too, there's something we shy away from, and that social media disconnects us. But I was wondering if you've also thought about ways to, raise awareness between black men in terms of addressing those issues, making a comfortable place or event or anything, awareness just for black men to, take care of those health issues too, because what's important is the first part of, I guess, being health and wellness starts with what's in between your ears and what's in your mind, because that's what controls your body, and that's what starts with healthiness. And yeah.
I like him.
For sure.
It's almost a setup, Victor. I think, please, would you like to answer that question around mental health and the connection between mental health and physical wellness?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that disconnect, like with the social media and things that's going on right now. And it's like it definitely can. I feel like also, if too much social media, it pollutes the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Except like with a lot of these social media platforms right now, there are mental health and things like that. It's good to see it, and there's actually letting men know it's okay to talk about it. And that's one of the reasons that most black men don't go get checked out or haven't in the past, because one, a black man feels like, oh, I got to take care of my family. I can't show weakness.
Exactly.
I can't miss work because then my bosses don't think I'm being a lazy black man, and then it's going to be the racial factor is going to come in. So that plays a part in the whole psychological aspect of the mental health. What we do now is actually we have components. So we have different initiatives and components that will be coming up quarterly. So we have a program called Barbershop Talk, where that's the mental health component that we're actually going to be implementing in here through probably towards the end of this year, rolling in early next year. Barbershop Talk is where we bring men within a barbershop setting and physicians actually in, and we actually bring the barbers and the doctors and the physicians that we are connected with actually meet up prior to, so that way they can start educating the barbers on how to be mental health professionals, actually just recognize certain signs, have them provide them with information so they can actually link their clients to different physicians, doctors, and things like that.
It's genius.
Psychiatrists or whatever the case may be.
So I think I have a video, Victor. I think. So I'm gonna let you finish your topic. Are you pointing at the screen?
The thing that I like about the barbershop, I feel like that's a really great place and perfect area for that, because that's where all black men especially go to and just are open about anything. You can really talk about anything at the barbershop.
Yes, we talk in the barbershop, but we do not talk to the doctor.
Yeah.
Even when we go. So and actually, that's where we talk at.
That's where you can get the best therapy, man, just to get anything out.
The barber becomes your counselor and everything, and it's a good thing, and it just helps bring out the whole aspect of being coming out of being incarcerated, trying to get child support, deal with the stressors and anxiety of being a single father, being a father trying to get custody of the kids, a father that's a person that's trying to learn how to be better within themselves, one that's trying to figure out how to get a job and they can't because they have felonies. It's just a lot of mental stressors that men go through every day that we don't get those words out. And once you really push forth and get those words out, it does help.
It does.
It's like, oh man, this weight is lifted off my shoulder.
I love it. So you guys, we are going to have Dr. Jerry Bird Tart joining us mid-show.
Okay.
Victor, I'm actually playing something that you sent to me. There's a flyer. Okay. It looks like for a past event that occurred in Columbus, Ohio, for a barbershop talk. I'm going to play it, and you can talk about it afterwards. Does that work?
Okay.
Mike is giving me the thumbs up. We'll hope sound works.
Okay.
Is it the blue one or the green one? Oh, hold on. Okay, we have no sound. Okay, we have no sound. We have a graphic going. Okay, but it's a cool video, image around. I just like these people are like real people. We'll just watch the video. You should start showing the screen. Being blind, single fathers, cancer survivors, entrepreneurs. Being black is a lot. That's what they said. Being married, raising kids, running a business.
And the setting is just so perfect. This just reminded me about how I'm not sure if you've seen this or not. LeBron James also started his own show in the barbershop, and I love the people they have on just in different areas and different scopes of life, different professional settings. But it's just, I love seeing people talk in the barbershop. It's like you always leave happier and better. It's just more than a place to get a haircut. This video, the barbershop, the show even he has, it's just like, I love how people are sitting in circle, the ambiance of it all. It's just like, it's the perfect place to talk about these issues and just be comfortable about it. Like, sometimes it gets deep, but it's just always just like so normalized in the barbershop.
It is. We can make it normalized, right? I think what I like about it is the conversations happen. Victor, what are you doing different? How are you optimizing this barbershop talk experience? Like you said, it's comfortable. People are used to going to the barbershop and talking, right? They're used to that. So what are you guys doing? I heard you say you're training these barbers. You're bringing in more professional support. You're helping them to identify even opportunities where there's crisis, right? Like there's an intervention. There's this comfortable environment, this central part of the Black community that's happening at the barbershop. But you're now turning that into a whole nother experience. It's the training, it's the education, it's the finding, these points of potential trauma, right? And points of intervention where that might be needed.
Right, and that's what we're doing. We're framing the brain and actually the barbers to actually understand the content of, what's actually going on in men's life. Sometimes in the barbershop, you gotta decipher the real from the male talk, if I will.
Right.
Not everything is not 100%. This is in your best interest. Because men are gonna be men and. We're going to talk and have a good time with a lot of laughs, but to actually push that content, actually, to recognize the signs through the jokes, because we do crack a lot of jokes in the barbershop with actually recognize these issues are possible, these issues you might be having.
I think that is perfect.
Therefore, the barber can actually be like, what? Hey, I got this card here. This is a doctor. This is a psychiatrist, this is a counselor that you might need to, you probably might need to reach out to actually help you out to further help your growth and help you. Because when we get, we talking about, we get those feelings and those emotions out, except we still need to work on building our patience, building our craft to actually to be the better man after we get those words out, after we get our issues out. So
it's genius.
More work to be done.
It's absolutely genius. So I definitely plan to be leaning in with you and helping to support this and promote this and optimize this. It's absolutely genius. First of all, the concept of humor, so bringing humor in it. You've already said it's a very comfortable place.
Alternative hospital.
Right. But then the humor part is hilarious. I saw on the ad, they had a comedian that was actually part of the thing. You got to laugh at it, right? You have to laugh. Victor, is Dr. Tart on yet? Okay, so let me know when she calls in. There's someone named Chris on. Chris from Renton. Trey, can you call in and call in to Mike, and I'm gonna have you tell us a little bit about. Should we just take the call? Chris from Renton. Apparently, our first call. We're gonna take the call. Chris from Renton.
Hello,
Trey's gonna. Come on in. This is our first call. Yay! So wait. I'm going to give Trey a chance to introduce you and how you connect to the show, and then we'll have you talk and tell your story. Okay.
Okay, great.
Use your mic.
Hi, Chris. Can you hear me?
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing real well. Thank you.
Oh, you couldn't hear him?
No. all I heard was that he's doing well. Okay, I can hear you now. Wonderful. I'm glad you're doing well.
So what is Chris's?
Yeah. So if you actually wouldn't mind telling our audience just a little bit about you. You're from Renton?
My name's Chris Odom. I'm with Planet Fitness. I'm connected with the walk. So Victor Tolbert was. He reached out to me maybe about a year and a half ago and kind of explained the vision and the awareness piece of getting African Americans, more knowledgeable about their health and wellness. So we
Wonderful.
just came on as a sponsor.
We love sponsors.
Nice.
We love sponsors. Hold on, I got to get your name again and give you some real props, because to me, it's not just about. We have a couple videos from other sponsors as well, and we're going to show those in a subsequent show, because these videos were really amazing from the event. But I need you to roll back and just say your name again. I thought you were just a regular old caller, but I'm just joking. I'm joking. There's no such thing as a regular caller, but we do really like sponsors, people who really want to put their money where their mouth is. So can you go ahead and tell me what your name is again? Your first and last name?
It's Chris Odom.
Odom?
Odum.
Okay.
And then first name just Chris, CHRIS.
Perfect. And Planet Fitness where?
Planet Fitness here in Washington. So the very first location we opened was in 2011 in the city of Renton. So,
wow.
Really?
I didn't even know that. That's
yeah.
Wonderful.
So it was really great once Victor told me where the event was being held and wanted to be involved, because each location we had, we always wanted to
Chris, are we losing you?
Renton to embrace us when we opened our location. So anytime there's an opportunity for a great cause to give back. Show-
So what you're kind of breaking up a little bit, Chris, for me. So check your line.
Sorry about that.
Okay, check your line. Speak close to the phone. So I love that you're from Planet Fitness. Tell us, why is health and wellness so important in our community?
What was that last part?
Why is health and wellness so important in the Black community, in all communities? But we seem to fall victim to a lot of diseases, that are oftentimes preventable for those who go to the doctor, more frequently than we do. So can you tell us again and talk to the audience about why health and wellness is so important in the Black community?
Well, I just think it's so important because, we've got to increase our, longevity here on Earth.
All right.
Just the average lifespan, for the Black community and Black males, it's like in our 50s. And so, we're the pillars of our community, and, we need to be able to life. A lot of it is just a lack of and just access to quality health care. And so, one thing that's great about our facilities is, it's very affordable. The memberships are only $10 a month. So It's a low barrier to entry just to even come in and get on the treadmill, start learning about exercise, start getting a routine of going up either after work or before work, getting up and, getting active, 10 minutes on a treadmill, 20 minutes on a bike. Just start building those habits. And once you start building those habits, then it's going to affect how you think about your own health and wellness, how you eat, how you sleep. Your circle of influence can change because you're going to realize, you want to live
you're a very first caller, and you're awesome. We're giving ourselves high fives in the back.
I love this. I love this so much because I myself have a Planet Fitness membership, and I find that in my own mental health, my anxiety will increase. I will go through more depressive swings. Those kind of things affect my mental health more when I find that I'm not working out as much. If I find that I'm not drinking enough water, if I find that my diet is not where it needs to be, it affects your mental health.
100%.
By far.
100%.
That's the first thing I notice. I'm like, I need to go to the gym. Let me go run on that treadmill.
Work it on out. Work some of them frustrations out. Chris, what were you going to say?
I was just saying, back to his point, when you're working out, your cortisol decreases, which brings on stress and anxiety. Your endorphins increase, which is more of those feel-good, love feelings. So getting those going is going to make you more productive at work, make you more productive with your family and friends and your interactions. So as a Black community, it's really vital and just like a state of emergency for us to be involved and really take action of our health and wellness. So
I like how you use that word.
I do too. Okay, hold on, Chris. Hold your thought. I'm gonna have you on the show. We often pause and we call it putting the kickstand down. I can't remember who used to say that all the time. I can't remember Tom Dorn or someone. I don't know. But put the kickstand down for just a second, right? We're gonna come back. So hold your thought. Write it down because I'm gonna pause on the fact that a state of emergency as it relates to health. Victor, you did this. First time on the West Coast. You still on the phone, Victor?
Correct.
Yes, I'm still here.
So Victor's still here as well. So Victor, Chris, I just want to make sure. So Victor, Chris is one of your sponsors.
Yes.
Tell me how important it is to have people sponsor you, and then how can other people get involved to keep moving this work forward? Again, it is a state of emergency. I would agree. Talk to us about how important is it for you to have sponsors first. I'll ask you question one, and then how can people get involved and support this work that's happening?
It's important to have sponsors because actually it just shows the community that it just shows that you have the support of the organization, program, whoever that is sponsors your event, and it shows that they believe in it, actually believe in it, have a vision, and actually the vision that you're trying to put out into the community, or your product and what you're trying to bring to the table, and it just shows the value of them. And they show that you value them and they value you, and it's more of their sponsorship. But we also are like partners, so we work together. We want to make sure that we push their company, Planet Fitness. We want to make sure we push their organization as much as possible and give them a great look. We're putting them on all our media. We're blasting them out on our social media platform. We're putting them on all our digital prints, on our T-shirts, and they're at our events, and they're out actually helping promote and bringing the visual to their company as well. So that's why it's important to have sponsors because it's more of a sponsorship. They're sponsoring our event, but we're also building a connection and relationship. And this sponsorship and connection and relationship is actually going to go long term, and that's what we want. We want to continue to grow together. Again, we're stronger together than we are apart. So
I love this. I love this so much.
So perfect.
It's so perfect. And what I love about it is, how we talked about these divine interventions and these points of connection where God just makes things happen and brings the right people on board. I met a man, and I don't know, Trey was supposed to ask me about this gas mask that I have in here. I don't know if you guys can see this on the show, but those on the phone cannot. But I have this full face 3M gas mask that I've been sleeping in. My house has been infected with toxic black molds. So it relates to my physical health. I've had a number of physical ailments for 5 years. I've gone to 7 different practitioners trying to figure it out, from cramps and just all kind of things, my eyes and just vision and guess what? We discovered that I have toxic black mold. If the number, is that crazy? That's why I actually missed some of the event on Saturday because I was told to get out of your house on Saturday. So I came there at the end, but I missed a number of the elements. But Victor, you and I are going to work together and make sure some of the people that you had on the show, that you had there, we're going to bring onto the show one-on-one and just kind of keep talking about it. The Jump Rope King, I met him at another event around I-1000. Again, a topic we're going to bring back on the show as well. So know that we're going to continue this is not a one-time event. You had this national event. We're going to make sure we partner with Chris, partner with you, Victor, partner with anyone and everyone in the community who recognizes how important this is. And the National Black MBA Association was one of the sponsors, one of the supporters for the National African American Men Wellness Health as well, right? Walk. So we're gonna continue to do this work, right? We have to, because it is a state of emergency. And what I was really excited about is this. I mentioned the toxic mold only because when you think about your health and wellness, sometimes we let things go on and on and on and on, and we never check until it's too late. Thank God it wasn't too late. Thank God I didn't die in the process. I'm dealing with a crazy, can I say ass? Can I say dumbass or cheap ass? Can I say any of those things? Okay, sorry. So I can't say any of those things, but I'm dealing with a landlord who has got some significant issues, right? Trying to be nice on one hand and being a cheap individual on the other hand. Sorry. And so it's really, it's a challenge. But I can tell you, it was exciting to actually know, oh my God, you know the source of the problem. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it and you're a man and you've had shortness of breath, or what are some of the signs of diabetes and some of the things that are high blood pressure? High blood pressure is like a silent deadly killer, right? But like, what are those things? How often do we go with like these ticking time bombs? Mm-hmm. One of your other sponsors said he had diabetes that actually progressed so far that he now has some, other ailments. Again, we have videos of all that stuff. But, you guys talk to me about, how often people let, men, we don't get checked for 15 years, and then all of a sudden, it's a state of emergency. It's tragic. So what would you tell someone who hasn't been to the doctor in 15 years, why it's so important that you get checked out, why it's so important that, you don't let these little signs that keep building and building and building, become a problem? Talk to me, guys.
I would say the main thing that I would tell anyone that hasn't been to the doctor like 15, like 8 to 10, is to go get checked out, because you really never know what is going on in your body. So I really ask for even some of my clients. I really ask them do you want to be here long term? Like it's a simple no-brainer. Do you want to be here long term?
Hey, Victor.
Or do you want to be here? What's that?
No, sorry. I'll let you finish, but then I want to make sure you tell us. You just said client. So what do you make sure the audience knows what you do and how they can reach you? And then, Chris, we're going to have you do the same thing because, again, this is important work. What you guys are doing is changing lives. So, Victor, remind us. I just jumped in. I know you're a coordinator of this event, but that's not what you do for a living. Let's talk about what you do for a living, how people can reach you. And then, Chris, I'm going to come to you on the same thing. Then I just see Dr. Tart's on the phone, too, so we're going to go back to mental health. So, Chris, and we got 14 minutes left in the show. So, real quick, tell us about who you are, what you actually do, and how people can reach you after the show.
Well, my name is Victor Tobert, of course, as you all know already, but Victor Tobin is the owner of Next Level Fitness. I'm a certified personal trainer. I help develop athletes, but also I help anyone and everyone who is looking to have a healthier and better life. Help reach their goals.
You breaking up,
Get
Victor?
to those goals. I help them reach their goals or get to their goals. Anyone who's trying to live a healthier, better life. Everyone's goals are not the same, but I definitely believe in when we work together. Again, we become a team. So your goals become my goals, and we're going to work together to try and achieve those goals.
I love that, Victor. How can
reach
people?
me?
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah, no. I was saying, you can reach me. My name on social media is Instagram, Mr_Motivation_7.
All right, Mr. Motivation.
And also Next Level Fitness. That's NXT Level Fitness 7. Yeah, Next Level Fitness 7.
Next Level Fitness 7. That's Instagram too.
Yeah, that's Instagram too. Yes.
Okay.
My Next Level page is NXT.
What if people are lame like me and don't have an Instagram account? Can you give me some?
You can also. My phone number is 9.
Email or something. I'm not saying you got to put your phone number into the universe. You can tell me, give me something.
Okay, my email is Victor40Leon. That's VICTOR40Leon@gmail.com.
LEON, Leon?
Yes, LEON.
And if you want to give your phone number, you're a businessman, feel free.
Hey, it's on my business card. It's everywhere. So
okay. What is it, please? Share it.
And also dealing with the walk. And also bringing this initiative here. I've gotten tons of calls.
What's your number again, Victor? Go ahead and put it out there then. Shoot, I'm put it out there. What is it?
937-838-4570.
Call him, people. He's changing the world. He can help you achieve your dreams. Now, Mr. Chris, real quick, we got 2 minutes, and I promise to bring you on in studio. We're going to talk more about how do we reach you, Mr. Chris Odom of Planet Fitness in Renton.
You can reach me by finding your way into one of our locations.
Hey, he's like, come on in. I like it. See, Chris, what I love about that is you don't talk about it, be about it. You got to get up in here. Come on in, right? I love it. That was awesome.
Reach me. You can see me and connect. Just come on inside, and we can give you a tour, show you what we're all about, and that could be your first step into exercise and health and wellness.
And did you say $10 per month? Listen, people, come on now. Come on. I know you can. There's some fast food that you cannot eat and get in there for $10 a month.
That is correct.
Wow.
Plus tax.
Okay, we can give some tax. That's okay. Wow, that's amazing. So I'm sorry. What were you going to say, Chris?
No, I was just saying, but very affordable,
Excellent.
and as a comfortable environment. So we encourage everybody, let that be the first step.
Excellent, Chris. I will definitely have you back on. I am super excited. We got our phones going, and for those who called in and I can't get to you right now, I apologize. We're gonna set aside specific time for phone callers and for future shows. But right now we have Dr. Jerry Bird-Tart on the show. I hear feedback.
I am. Yes.
How are you, Dr. Tart?
I am well, thank you. How's everybody?
Good, excellent. Good. So, Dr. Tart,
right.
Something's happening with the microphone here. But what I would like to share with you is that we have some. We were talking health and we were talking about wellness, men's physical wellness, and the topic went directly to mental wellness. So why is that so critical? I mean, these guys have. Victor has a program called, what is it called again, Victor? The Barbershop Talk?
It's called Next Level Fitness.
That's your business. You also have a mental health program, some Barbershop Talk. Is that what it's called?
Oh, Barbershop Talk. Yes. It's a component that's connected with the 5K National African American Male Wellness Walk, and now we have Barbershop Talk. And there's a lot of programs coming up. I won't get into all those. I'll say you can keep me coming back.
So Dr. Tart,
Barbershop Talk.
Yes, please.
Barbershop Talk is our mental health component where we bring barbers and physicians and mental health professionals together and actually equip the barbers with the knowledge and actually to recognize signs of stress, anxiety, depression, things like that. So we actually want to help the barbers help their clients step forth and be stronger as men and actually not be afraid to more so go to the doctor. as well. So that whole
Basically
content and that whole
I love
program is
it.
pushing forth to actually help the man get to the doctor even more, and
So-
actually not be afraid to go talk about your problems and get those issues out.
Did you hear that, Dr. Tart? Isn't that perfectly aligned with the work we've been doing? You now have a program called Barbershop Talk that's helping to equip barbers to understand signs of various mental, whether you call it mental illness or just opportunities for additional growth in that area, and referring them to help, to support, whether it's about your marriage or your business or your, kids or just the stress at work. How cool is that? How important is mental health, Dr. Tart? We've talked about
It
this
is
before, but
so-
come on now. How important is
It
mental
is
health
really,
to physical
really-
health? Help us draw the connection between mental health and physical health. We got a 21-year-old here as well who talked about the biggest opportunity for his generation is anxiety, right? The mental health related to social media and anxiety, et cetera, and actually, that causing physical challenges as well. So give us, in our last 5 minutes of the show, can you help us to generate a dialogue around mental health and how important it is?
Yes, I can. I want to just say I'm so excited to hear about the young man who was talking, Victor, who was talking about the barber shop talk. I was listening to, when we were as a matter of fact, when I was in Seattle, I found this online someplace where these guys had come together, whether they were professionals or just guys hanging out, because they don't talk a lot about their concerns. They don't talk to their wives sometimes. They don't talk to family members. But these men, and it was started by a physician who had, I think he had cancer or whatever. But at any rate, he was sharing with a friend offhanded one day, and they collectively pulled together this group, and these men came together and they're talking. And I wish it were that I could remember the name, but I'll look it up and give it back to you, Tracy, later. But my point here is about what he shared about the anxiety. Even that older generation was talking, because that wasn't a part of their conditioning to share with one another. Mental health is so critical. The reason that it is so critical, because what we think about is what we do, and we think obviously with our minds. So if it is that we are overwhelmed about certain life expectations or circumstances, and we believe that we don't have any place to turn, or where, or if it were that we should share, we are going to be categorized in a particular manner, or we might sometimes feel as if we are less than, or we aren't seen with the same level of strength that men are supposed, if you please, to maintain or whatever. So oftentimes it is felt as if, or it has been my experience when I'm dealing with my clients and talking to males, they oftentimes feel as if I'm supposed to know how to take care of this. I'm supposed to know what to do. Well, where are you going to get your information if you've never been taught that, or if you believe that it has been a taboo? And you said, Tracy, and I know I'm talking fast, but just to try to pull in some things.
We love it.
Young man who's 21 years old, and he was saying that his generation is, overwhelmed sometimes with anxiety. And that's on point, because when I'm dealing with young men around his age or whatever, that's one of the things, and young ladies as well. I was looking up the various generations, and as I shared with you once before, Tracy, there are so many generations that the youngest generation is still exposed to. Even as far back as one of them was the GI generation, back from 1925 to 1945 or something like that. And then there's the silent generation, where my parents weren't ones to talk about, because this was post the war, right? They were trying to grow, and that was during the war, rather. They were trying to get things pulled together, or after the war. And then we had boomers. That's my generation. So, we had the boomers, and then we love children and all this kind of stuff.
Dr. Tart,
what? Huh?
I'm gonna have you landed in 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds. So then this young man, he's talking about all of these things that he's anxious about. The first thing, I want to say this to our entire listening audience. The first thing that we need to do is to surrender unto God. Let's talk to God, because he's our creator. He's the one who created us, and he said that he didn't bring us here to leave us. Let's do that first. And then ask him, if you're going to talk to somebody, to not only open your heart, but open their hearts to be able to hear you talk about what you got to talk about. But don't be afraid. Take the fear out of the way, because he didn't give you fear in the first place. That's one of the things. So that's kind of, to put it in a nutshell, we're going to pray about it. We're going to recognize what's going on. We're going to write about what's going on. And we're going to find somebody that's a professional or a friend or somebody that you trust that you can share those concerns, because there is no new thing under the sun. Just fix it up. So there you go.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness,
Post it
Dr.
right
Time.
there.
She just stopped, drop, and roll. Listen, people, the last part of our show, we got 1 minute left. So, Victor, do you have 2 seconds of something you want to say to people about next steps or why this is important? Like, what word would you say that encompasses the importance of mental health or physical health for Black people?
I mean, I feel like it's very important because this is the way of relieving your stress. It's like a lot of people, like, you just have so much tension, you have so much emotion built up. Working out is a great way to just relieve that stress. Actually,
I love it.
Relax your mind. And
Perfect. Thank you.
You can get your frustration out.
All in. Thank you very much. You got 2 seconds. Stop talking, Victor. We got to go to somebody else. Victor, stop talking. Go, Trey.
Live your truth 100% of the time.
Excellent. 2 seconds.
I just wrap it up with this. I love that everything's pinpointed, so just having that awareness of what the issue is just perfect.
All right, now, this is Traci Harrell. You've been listening to and watching Bigger Than Me, and we'll be back with more. But we ask you to be courageous and go out and live your dream.